All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm Derek Mordica. I'm the program director here at the Y. For the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a life session skills programs. Just going over some essential life things that we think might be helpful down the road for young adults or even adults that aren't familiar with some of these processes. So today we're going to start with changing a tire. What I recommend is when we're changing a tire, the first thing you need to do is go to your car and get your owner's manual out of the glove box or wherever you might have it stowed. Every car is different, so you want to make sure that you follow the guidelines per your vehicle. When it comes to torque specs and stuff on lug nuts and everything, it's going to vary. So I want to make sure that you're following your guidelines for your specific vehicle. So make sure you always have that user manual or owner's manual right there next to your side, just for reference. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. In a situation where we're out and driving, you want to make sure that you move your vehicle to a safe spot. That means get your vehicle to the side of the shoulder or side of the road. Make sure you're away from traffic. The next thing you want to do is turn on your hazard lights and chalk your vehicle if you're able. So I'm going to kind of show you kind of some of the things where things are located out in the car. Chalking vehicle, if you don't have wheel chalks, you can use, if you have something in your garage, if you just block behind the vehicles, you want to put it behind the front tire, or the front of the tire, and behind the rear of the tire here. And I'll show you kind of what I'm using today. I don't have wheel chalks, so I've just kind of placed something. When you're chalking a tire, you want to make sure you're doing it on the diagonal side of the vehicle. So for instance, if I'm changing this tire, I'm going to do the back left side or the driver's side and rear side chalk. And I'll take you back there and kind of show you what that looks like. So this is what I'm using right now to chalk my tires in place here. That's just going to kind of keep the vehicle from rolling just in case. I've also went ahead and put the vehicle, this is a standard transmission, so the user guide tells us that we need to place the vehicle in reverse, shift the vehicle in reverse, and set the emergency brake. So we've gone ahead to do that, and our hazards are located right here, so we're going to turn those on as well. All right. Next thing we want to do is we're going to come into our trunk where our spare tire is located at. I've already gotten out for this purpose, but I want to show you kind of where your spare tire is located and how you might have to get it out of there. So the carpet here is going to lift up like so, and your spare tire is usually located right underneath this in this little port here. So you pull that out, make sure you place everything back there. All right. All right, so once you have your spare tire out, I always like to keep it next to me, or close where I can get it, where I don't have to be moving around a whole lot. Whenever we're getting our tools outside, again, we want to make sure we have a tire iron, our jack, a jack stand, a flashlight, gloves if you have those are optional, and the wheel chocks, okay? So when I'm jacking up the vehicle, I want to make sure that I never leave a jack on underneath the vehicle while changing a tire unless it's an emergency situation. And I never want to place my hands and feet again underneath the vehicle at any time when it's on a jack. I try to practice that just in general. Try to always just keep my hands and feet from underneath the vehicle, whether it's a jack or jack stand underneath the vehicle. So when I jack the vehicle up, I like to put the jack stand underneath and lower the jack, but I also like to keep that jack relatively close so that it doesn't cause any issues, and if I have to get that jack and lift it up a little bit, I can. I'm going to kind of go over where you're going to jack the vehicle up. So on a vehicle, if you're looking at the front of the vehicle here, the vehicle has what's called a chassis. Now the chassis's got these side rails that go along the side of the vehicle in the front, or just along the frames of the vehicle here. And you look in your owner's manual, it'll show you specific images of where your jack points are and where you can place your jack and jack stands. So what I would encourage again is just make sure that you see those reference points in your owner's manual. That way you get a visual and see exactly where you're supposed to jack the vehicle up at. For my vehicle, I'm going to jack just right here below the right front tire, passenger front tire here. And then I'm just going to slide my jack stand in just behind it and lower that vehicle. Alright, so when I'm jacking up the vehicle here, I want to make sure I just jack up the vehicle enough just to get the tire in the air, slightly in the air. I don't need to go excessively off the ground here. You'll notice that the tire is just slightly off the ground there. I don't have it, 5-6 inches off the ground. It's just off the ground enough to where I can put the new tire on, all right? So now that I have the jack in the air, I'm gonna take my jack stand here. I'm gonna place it just behind the jack here. I'm gonna lower the jack on that stand. The way this works is it just slowly raises and lowers itself here, just like so. I'm going to lower the jack down just a little bit here, nice and slow, to where it lands on that jack stand there, just like that. I'm going to take my tire iron here, I'm going to loosen these lug nuts in a star pattern. So when you're loosening these, if you start here, at the top here, you want to go opposite sides. So you go here, lower portion, across, across, across. So in a star-like pattern. Okay, same with tightening them. Alright, so just set your lug nuts off here to the side whenever you get those pulled off. Another thing I want to point out, some vehicles have what's called a lug nut key. So this will be, it's usually in the glove box. I keep mine with the owner's manual. If I ever have to change this is actually off for my Jeep. So it requires a special lug nut in order to take that lug nut off. So you place this into the tire wrench here. Just like so, just like that. And then if it's got a key or a lock on it, you're gonna set this in there and that'll unlock that one lug nut. Not all vehicles have this, but some, just the newer models, some vehicles do have this to prevent theft of any kind of tire on the vehicle. So take the rest of this off here. Just working in that star-like pattern still. Just to make sure I set these on the side where I know where I can find them. I don't want to lose those. As I get to my last lug nut here, you notice that this tire is just kind of rocking a little bit, so I'm just going to put a little pressure on it, make sure that it's not going to slide off on me and fall or land on my leg. So once I get this loose just like this, what I do, I sit here, I'm going to pull the tire off the load just like that. Wheel it just aside here, and put the spare tire in its place. When I'm doing this, again, I don't want to keep my feet underneath this part of this vehicle anywhere. So I'm going to do my best to try to lift this tire up so I can set it on that rim or sit on the hub without it, my hands or anything being underneath there, okay? So I'm going to lift this. These spare tires are relatively light. You might have to use your hands and feet whenever you're putting a the other tire back on, so you can lift it just like this, put it in place. This spare tire is pretty light, so I'm just going to set it on the belt here. So get that in place there. I'll just put my lug nuts back on here. Spare tires are only meant for emergency situations. You shouldn't be driving around on them for excess amount of times. They're just not meant to withhold that type of weight, or just kind of get you from A to B, or get you to the mechanic shop where you can get your tire replaced. So I'm just slightly tightening these on for now. They're not all the way down. And then I'm going to tighten in that Starlight pattern. Alright, let's go ahead and tighten these back down here. So, tighten. So now that we have those tightened down, I'll make sure to put my old tire in the trunk or somewhere safe where it's not going to bounce around while we're driving. So now we have the tire on, we can take the jack stand back out. So what I have to do first is I need to raise that jack up, get that jack stand out from underneath it. Raise it just slightly here. Slide this jack stand out. Now I can slowly lower this tire back down to the ground here. Alright. Once the tire's on the ground here, I'm going to recheck these lug nuts. That's just something I do. Sometimes when we change tires, a lot of times what will happen, what you'll see is sometimes these lug nuts will loosen up just a little bit. So after you drive, I don't know, 100 miles or so, something like that, make sure you check your lug nuts and make sure they're tight. You don't want to loosen them up on you. So these lug nuts are, like I said, per vehicle, different torque for each spec. I know this vehicle is 83 foot-pounds. You use a torque wrench to do that. So when you're out and you have to change a tire in an emergency situation like this, get them tight, get your vehicle to the shop as quick as you can, and let the mechanics change the tire, or put the new tire back on for you, or replace the old tire, whatever it is you're doing. They have torque wrenches if you don't have one at home, and they can set that to the spec. So then, and now that everything's done, we want to make sure we clear everything out of the way here. Obviously, we're going to unchock our tires. We can unset our emergency brake, and you should be able to go, good to go then. Really, that's all there is to it. I know this is kind of a short video. Every vehicle is different, so I can't encourage you enough to make sure you know the emergency procedures for your specific vehicle. Get that owner's manual out of your glove box or your car. Just look at it from time to time. Make sure you know these things. Again, by no means am I a mechanic. This is how I change tires. I've done this a lot. I actually just did this a couple weeks ago. We had a blowout coming back from the airport. So we actually are on the road in the middle of the night. It made things a little difficult, but we had all the things in the car that we needed to do it, and it worked out great. So if you have questions, concerns, please consult a mechanic or read that owner's manual. They'll definitely help you out. if you like these videos, make sure you share them with your family and friends. If you guys have suggestions for any things that you'd like to see with these life skills sessions that we're doing, please comment below. I know we've got some pretty good ideas coming up, but if you guys can think of anything, please feel free to let us know. Again, if you have any questions, please get a hold of me. You can comment below or just send me a message on Facebook. Thanks.